hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
All right, it's the After Show where we gather together to, I don't know why we do this. It's just because we have so much to talk about, and Jim and Michelle are here. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
My extended family, and thank you so much for all the good wishes and everything with this craziness that we're going through. It's crazy.
Sorry you had to be in that situation.
Yeah, we had a hot time in the old town tonight. You know?
Oh, God. It must not be too bad if the jokes are flowing already. That's a good sign, actually.
Oh, no, wait, look, when I call back and Pat says, so you know that kitchen you wanted to redo?
We can redo it.
It's done. It is burned to a crisp,
well,
well as the living room and the pantry. And okay.
I think it's a perfect example and an opportunity to bring it up about how important, regardless what the topic is, attitude is everything. It really is, because you can turn a lousy situation into a miserable situation by your attitude, or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, and, to be fair, we were lucky in a lot of senses. We didn't lose all of our stuff. We didn't lose our family photos. And, we lost a lot of house, and we'll find out how much house we lost soon once they really get a good look at it. My rough guess is that there's enough smoke and water damage. A lot of sheetrock's got to have to get pulled.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And, that just takes a while. And, of course, just redoing a kitchen, that's catastrophic when somebody just does a regular remodel when they go in and rip things out. Well, if you burn it out first and then you redo it, now you really got the cleanup going. So, anyway, but, it's weird the things you think of. You think, well, when I go back to the house, I need to I'll just grab some peanut butter. Oh, wait, no, that was in the pantry. No, we don't have that now. Oh, well, it's okay.
Well, you got your lives.
We got our lives, and we got family helping, and lots of good wishes from everybody. And
you never liked that pantry anyway.
I know, that was a stupid toaster in there. I don't know. So, although we did have a cool bread maker, and it got burned up. I did like the bread maker, man. So,
well, it's just stuff.
It's just stuff, and I know everybody says that, but it really is. But you know what it does do, in a weird sort of way? I think it gives you a chance to reset, recalibrate maybe. If everything in the house has to come out, and it does, and you look at all that stuff and you're going, yeah, really? That's a lot of stuff we've acquired over 44 years of marriage. Do we really want all that stuff? And I think that's going to be a process for the next few months also.
Simplifying things.
I've been saying I want to do it. Sometimes you need that
little motivator
boot in your butt to get you moving, right?
Maybe downsizing. That's what most people, they come across that reason for downsizing.
Right.
They get rid of all kinds of things. Yeah.
Well, it's also, it's like we always say, people who have moved a number of times think, next time I'm just going to have a fire instead of moving. Well, No, I didn't do that. No, I had a fire, but I still kept my stuff. So I had a fire and I get to move. I don't think I figured that one out yet.
Well, who won that one?
Well, that looks good on a resume.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Jim, I got to have you got to tell us all about this big project that you were working on this weekend.
Oh, we actually had two because, one major time-consuming part of your life shouldn't be enough. You should always be bombarded by two.
Why not?
Well,
might as well.
Sure. It has nothing to do with... Actually, it does have something to do with guns. I can make anything have something to do with guns. Just you wait. Friday, we got some musicians together, and we did a low-key, little concert series for the folks down the road that are living in with severe mental and physical disabilities, who I was there for a different reason a while back and said, I bet you some of these folks never get to hear live music. So I talked to the administration, and they said, sure. So we started up a little, this was the first Friday we did, a little concert series, and it was awesome. It was really moving. Both the other guy and I actually had to step out individually at separate times to kind of regroup. Because it was appreciated in a way that you don't see in a normal. Because most of us work in clubs and stuff throughout the week. Sure. And, we're playing to drunks and perverts and other people besides the band members. but to see people in the audience that they at the core appreciated it. And some people I'm sure it didn't impact it whatsoever. But the ones that did, it was moving. It really was great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. What a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, it was great. And then the next day was the thing we do every year is for the American Legion. We do something called Hogs and Hooves. It's a hog roast that benefits a organization called hooves.us, which I strongly suggest everybody go check out on the web. And what they do is they use equine therapy for PTSD vets. So people that are trying to reassimilate into society, when they have difficulties, they narrow down what their difficulty is or their main area of work. And they put a custom-designed obstacle course together for a horse. And the vet's job for he or she is to walk the horse through this obstacle course and figure out how to get around the obstacles, which relates to the obstacles that they're having in their life. And it's very effective. I've seen several vets go through the program, and only one of them said thanks and left, and that was it. Almost everyone else has asked to come back for a second one. And we had 4 of those vets volunteering to help our benefit yesterday. So it's a good community effort for a great reason. I can't think of a better reason.
That's terrific. Hooves.us.
Yes, HOOVES.
Right. I'm looking at it now. It looks very impressive. Well, good on you guys for helping out with that. So this is an annual affair now.
Yeah, it is. And I said I'd work guns in here somehow. I take my gun just about everywhere, but I did not take it to the original Friday benefit, only because I didn't know if I would be in full control of it at all times.
Right.
And just wasn't. It was one risk I was trading for another risk, I guess.
I understand.
Yeah. And then not so on Saturday. It was kind of neat because there's a couple different bands, and of the people playing, I'd say 45% of the people on stage were armed. And you couldn't tell, but I know because they're all my buddies.
Because you know them, yes.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we're probably in the safest part of the city right now. So, and then to hear about the stuff in London, it's like, you know what? Maybe this preparation stuff isn't all just silly, Boy Scout wannabe stuff.
It's not. I'm glad you brought that up. Michelle, I'm going to get your take as you sit there. What are your thoughts as you're seeing the reports on this thing in London, and people are running people down, and then they get out of their cars and they've got knives and they're running around and knifing everybody?
It makes me sick. I mean, that's my first initial reaction. It's just sickening. I don't understand where we lost the validity of life in anywhere in our world. I don't know why one thing is so much more important than helping somebody versus taking away their life. But that is what terror is, and this is what we're under fire of. I guess the fact that there's not a gun debate, with the media at the moment, I'm sure it's going to move there because it always does. Just think how much worse it would have been if there had been guns. Well, and
right.
that's
probably
kind of
silly stuff.
Right. However, it also could have been prevented after the first or second or third person was mowed over. There's no other word to use other than that. I really, I don't know. It's sickening. You get tired of hearing it week after week and almost day after day.
I was listening as I was driving to CNN, and I switched back and forth between Fox and CNN. And on CNN, they had a guest on yesterday, and I thought, boy, they're not going to ask him back because he was some kind of security expert. I didn't catch who he was, didn't get his name, but he had sound like experience and credentials, and they're asking, well, what does it mean when after the cars ran over the people, and then there was a lull, and then there were shots heard? He said, well, it means that police came up and engaged. Of course, not all the police in London have guns, but obviously some with guns came up. He says, because we know that, and I love this, he says, England has draconian gun laws. And so it would be impossible for a good Samaritan to be stopping this. So they had to wait for the police to show up. And I'm thinking, they're going to yank him right off of CNN for saying that.
No doubt.
But I guess one of the things to me, and my husband and I were talking about this, is to us, there are certain things that are tools. A firearm to us is a competition tool. A knife to us is a tool. Mm-hmm. So to us, that's not a weapon necessarily. And it's like, we were talking, it's like, I would never think of pulling my knife on someone. Mm-hmm. We don't think that way.
You wouldn't think of pulling your gun and shooting someone, that wasn't offering a threat to you.
Right.
Because you're sane.
I guess.
Well, and it's not even that they're insane, Jim. It's just
their mission.
Their mission. I mean, and I heard one one of the guys talking about it who lives there in London, he says, well, look, he says, there are parts of London that you don't go into. There are parts of London that are completely Muslim, that if a woman goes in there, is walking around just wearing regular clothing, men will come out and harass her and essentially attack her. And this is in London.
Yeah.
They have given up sections of their city to people who essentially ignore the law, establish their own law, and are not just feel free to, but are actually free to engage in that activity. And, of course, there are those who say, yeah, and that's, why would we want to control our borders? Why would we want to? Yeah, okay, really? Really? Are you willing to live in your city and have young men come out and harass women for just wearing regular clothes and attack people for that? And, of course, the next step is simply, well, they should be killed. And that's what they say about women who are not covering their heads, or people who believe or live differently from them. They should be killed. And then, of course, the follow-on to that is, and I'm sorry that this offends anybody, get over it, you little snowflake. They say, well, then, if you believe differently from us, if you don't believe the way we do, then you should be killed, because that's what we were taught. Well, I have a solution for that. It's 124 grains going about 1,000 feet per second. And, if somebody's mowing people down in a car, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Do it. Do what you got to do. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll pick this up on the backside. We'll be right back. Give us 60 seconds. We'll be right back.
At Stag Arms, our firearms are built to exceed limitations and push boundaries. The Stag 10 and 10S from Stag Arms offer recreational and avid .308 shooters better accuracy and performance. Custom-designed forgings give the Stag 10 and 10S tighter tolerances and a modernized style, all while retaining the strength of mil-spec parts. Each model carries Stag Arms' transferable lifetime warranty and infinite shot barrel guarantee. Find out more at stagarms.com.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created GunDealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With GunDealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? GunDealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com. Talking about the whole idea of terrorism, and as much as we like our small guns, guys, and we do, it is why I switched to a high-capacity 9mm pistol some years ago, thinking that, if a guy jumps on me, probably a single-stack gun or even a revolver is fine. But you imagine, you put yourself in that situation. If somebody is driving a truck, or there are two guys out there, or three people out there, they're knifing people or shooting people, I don't know, man, 6 or 7 rounds is going to look pretty darn anemic.
Yeah, good term.
Just, I don't know. I also think, I don't know if I mentioned, I'm going to find a pistol that has a shorter barrel, just for my carry. Just a little bit more comfortable for me, but I don't want to give up the capacity. So I love the XDS, I love the Shield, but I don't love the reduced capacity.
I got a question for you on that.
Sure. Okay.
Because I'll carry the 26 often.
Nice.
And
I like the Glock 26.
Yep. Yeah. And my primary mag is the stock mag with the little finger, so it gives you one extra round. But then my backup mag is a conventional Glock 19 mag.
Okay.
So it's kind of best of both worlds. I can conceal it more easily, and God forbid I needed a second mag. Now I've got the massive capacity, and still got pretty decent capacity to start with. More than a single stack,
right.
Obviously. But Not as many as I'd like to have, but it seems like a viable option for me to be able to conceal it yet still have enough rounds in backup.
I think that's probably not a bad. I mean, everything's a compromise.
Right.
That's the whole thing. It's all a compromise. It depends on how you carry and what you wear and what you can carry and all that. I mean, it's like, and Michelle, we talk about this all the time. Women simply have a harder time coming up with a carry system, don't you?
Absolutely. Anytime that we sell a firearm and the holster conversation comes along with that, it kind of seizes everything because those options change when you start looking at holsters. I mean, we're built differently. Obviously, we have parts that you don't. I mean, so when you're dealing with
can we see those? I don't know
no,
what you're talking about.
Keep your shirt down, Jim.
Okay. Damn it.
Oh, is Jim doing the whole, I'll show me mine?
Yeah.
Thought I was in New Orleans, sorry.
But you're dealing with many different body shapes, body sizes. We have typically short torso. It gets very difficult. And the dress changes everything, not just a actual dress, but dress clothes or shorts and tank tops. And so you have to dress more, I'm going to say, mom-ish.
Soccer mom look.
Yeah. I mean, really.
In other words, you can't be hot. That's what you're saying.
Well, no, we're often hot.
Flashes.
That's that whole hormones thing going on. I know. It's a whole different thing.
But yeah, you're wearing your T-shirt or polo or some kind of tailed shirt outside of the shorts. You're not wearing those super low-cut shorts. You're not wearing the really high-cut shorts, which are now in style. But
do you like these, by the way? Yes. Sure.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, buddy. You can't unsee things.
Is that Urkel thing with the pants pull up around his armpits?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it gets very difficult, and it does change things, I think, for women probably more so than for men.
Now, does those reasons tend to lead people towards the non-desirable purse carry? Because even though it's not optimum, it solves some problems. It brings its own with it.
Right.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, it's why a lot of women purse carry. Because a lot of them say, look, I'm not going to change the way I dress. Well, and there's no way to carry the way they dress.
And just because a person is super thin, it's a lot easier to see that on somebody who's really thin, too, because it's like a tumor sticking out there, I mean, no, it's not a tumor. It's my pistol. But
it's a 1911 tumor.
But, I mean, there's a lot of imprinting for that reason. So it gets difficult. It's not easy. Wintertime, I think most people are good, but summer's hard.
Yeah, summer is difficult. I love, it's funny, I had a guy write me during the show. He said, well, I want to get 3 different guns for concealed carry. I've got a full size and I got a this. And the thing about a revolver, I said, I think he's in California, he could only have 3 pistols on his license.
Oh, jeez.
And wow. I know. I said, well, honestly, if it were me, rather than go with a revolver for my third choice, if it's purely concealed carry, because he had 2 medium to full size, I said, I would go with an LCP size semi-auto for those times when you really have to dress in such a way where you can't conceal very well. It's not ideal, but it is certainly a way to go, and at least you're not walking around without anything.
Right.
So just kind of my thought on that is... we talk about, summer and all that. Sometimes that's all you can carry.
Yeah, like you said, compromise. You preface the whole thing with that. It's what it is.
Every form of carry is a compromise. If I wasn't going to compromise, I'd carry an AR-15 with like 14 magazines. But,
that wouldn't attract any attention, I don't think.
And that way, also, if you're doing that, you fall in the lake, you're going to drown because you can't swim with all this stuff. I don't know. Just a thought. Now, I do know people who have started kind of going with a bag and an AR pistol or a short-barreled, an SBR rig and an AR. And while that sounds really paranoid and crazy, if the dude is driving a truck over a bunch of people, man, it sounds really nice to have.
I got a 3-word answer for that would kind of apply. Yes. London, Paris, Ohio State University.
Nice, France. Yes, exactly. Yeah, there you go. It's the real deal. This is real world, and to pretend this isn't happening is to be childish. Now, don't let it make you crazy, But if you are of a mindset as we are, where you say, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to get more training, I'm going to, all of that, then I think you have to kind of say, all right, let's get real. Let's get the right gun. Let's get the right way to carry. Let's make the compromises that it takes. And I understand the likelihood is small, but I think the likelihood is growing. That's kind of ugly, isn't it?
Well, let's go to break and maybe come back with a cheerier reality. What do you say?
I do have a cheerier reality when we come back. I want to talk about guns.
Ooh.
It's America's favorite .22 rifle. No matter how, where, or what you like to shoot, there's a Ruger 1022 for you. From the carbine to the incredible takedown models, the tactical and target versions, all Ruger 1022 models have the legendary action and detachable 10-round rotary magazine. Whether you're hunting squirrels or tin cans, there's a lifetime of fun in every Ruger 1022 rifle. See them all at Ruger.com. That's Ruger.com.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit SigSauer.com today.
All right, back here. Let's talk about guns a little bit.
Yay!
Guns. Okay. I just saw a cool ad from the guys at Stag. If you have a stripped lower, now they have everything you need in one package. Upper, the grip is, everything. Basically, if you have a stripped lower ready to go, that's like, I don't know, $400 or something. Build your own AR. So it's kind of nutty time. We were talking about the deals that are available out there. I don't know if people are actually engaging and taking advantage of that. I don't know what's going on in the marketplace out there. Michelle, are you seeing any of that? I mean, are you guys on the dealer side able to take advantage of any of these special prices these days?
Well, one of the things that we're seeing right now is ammunition is just dropping hugely. So not certain what all that is about, other than maybe some of these companies are catching up with everything. So I think from conversation that's been coming into the store, ammunition's pretty consistently priced out there, $15-ish for a box of 50 rounds of 9mm in our area. Sometimes you can find it, a little bit cheaper, but that seems to be about the going. You had Smith & Wesson with their Shields and Springfield Armory with their XD series pistols with all the magazines and rebates. Right. So for some people it drives them. For others, not necessarily. It's like, oh, perfect. They pick out the gun first, and then that's kind of a bonus. So it does make the guns cheap when you consider you're getting 4 magazines at no cost to you.
Yeah, I mean, because mags are running anywhere from $25 to $45.
Yeah, yep. So there's huge discounts, and when we're talking about capacities, which most people are, that's big.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy time, and I was not really aware of the ammo prices dropping, and I started kind of in the last week or so, started paying attention and went, wow, man, there's some great deals on ammo out there now.
Yes, there are. Take advantage. Go out. I mean, not to be hoarding, but, it's a good time to be shooting and training and, okay, maybe hoard.
Yeah, not to promote hoarding, but you should probably hoard.
Okay, you could be like a semi-hoarder, or quasi-hoarder or something.
Or a revolver hoarder. Oh, no, you meant.
Oh. Thank you. Oh, goodness. But that's one thing about it. Revolver shooters don't need as much ammo generally.
No, we don't go through it quite as fast as you guys do.
Well, it seems, in the last few years, it seems like the prices of ammo has gone up and down and up and down. So if it's low now, I think my tendency is to say, well, it's probably going to go back up at some point. Most likely.
Like I say, I think it's probably summertime. Things have slowed. Vacations are going. It's just.
But even if it goes down, shoot what you bought and refinish your stock, replenish.
Well, yeah. Don't let it be stale.
Yeah.
If
ammo over 2 weeks old is, as far as I'm concerned, you might have to throw it away.
If you're sitting on a pile of ammo you bought when you were, getting into the hoarding deal, replace it with cheaper ammo. Shoot it up and go buy some of this stuff. Otherwise, you're going to sit there and wait until ammo goes back up, and by then you're going to go, boy, I was a dummy.
And there's no sense in having the ammunition when you're not training. I mean, seriously, you need to train. So just because you want to always have 1,000 rounds, just replenish it. But don't cheat yourself or your family, for that matter, by not training.
It's interesting you mentioned the training. I got an email from a guy during the show. He was talking about the commitment. He says, do people know how to use fire extinguishers? He said, but take that further. He says, do you know how to use a defibrillator? AED?
AED, mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says, do you know how to use one of those? They're everywhere now. He says, do you know CPR? He said, so what he did is he started just as much as he could, taking every class. I mean, the Red Cross. Red Cross, they have CPR classes. Other people have trauma classes. Other people have, you can take a class on using the AED. You can, he said, just on and on. He said, and do that for your children, for your family, because you don't know. He said, look, he says, I've already saved one person with CPR. He said, a friend of mine used an AED to save a guy because we knew how to do that. Mm-hmm. I remember my scuba instructor, Paul Oberle, up in Shreveport many years ago. He said that we're going to teach all of you CPR. He says, and the reason we're going to do that is because I'm the oldest guy here, and I'm the one you're probably going to end up having to use it on. So I want you all to know how to do it.
Real world, yeah.
It's interesting, and I don't want to draw this out by any means, but I made the comment at the gym that I go to here locally that their AED was upstairs.
Really?
Okay, so unless
someone
ran the track, because that's what was up there, was a track in a little, gym type of room, would you even know that one was in the building? And why would you run upstairs to get it?
Yeah, it's like I have a fire extinguisher in the basement.
Yeah. So to me, placing them out where the majority of the people, obviously multiple, they're expensive. They have to be replaced. Things expire. So it is pricey, but it walks you through step by step. So even if you aren't comfortable in AED, you slap it on. There's sticky pads, it gives you pictures. And then you turn on the machine and it walks you through everything to do. So to me, gosh, that's the easiest thing.
That's when you want to be a decent speed reader, I would think. You don't really want to.
Yes, Jim.
Taking your time.
Yes. You and Jazz need to work on your summer reading, yes.
That's right. Even as we're speaking, I get another email from a listener. It says, talking about the flame or fire extinguishers, it says, aim at the base of the nearest flame and then gently sweep it away from you. He says, you must use this technique to have any hope. 28 years as a chemical plant with annual extinguisher training at a 4x4 pan of burning diesel. Mm-hmm. Start near, end far.
Yep.
Okay. While that makes sense, I'm not sure that it would normally come to me, so start near, end far. I like that. Thank you, Kyle.
There's it'd be a good idea to do a little bit of YouTube research, because I know there's certain fires that if you shoot at the base, you can actually spread the fire more. So generally speaking, the aiming at the base is right. There's certain things that burn that you actually blow the flame around the room, and now you're starting multiple smaller fires too.
At which point you just saw Tom running out of the building.
GTHO method, right?
Yeah, right. Speaking of which, does everybody know how to use your phone to call 911 quickly? If you've got a lock on your phone, you've got a little emergency thing, you hit that, and it will let you call. Or I'm wondering, I've never tried it. Can you tell Siri to call 911 for you?
You'd have to unlock it by then. Hold on. Siri, please call 911.
Oh, my gosh. Don't let that go through.
Oh, I didn't. What can I help you with? Emergency call in 5 seconds.
Services in 5 seconds.
3, 2, cancel.
Okay.
So you did. You tell Siri call 911, and she gives you a 5-second countdown to cancel, and then she calls 911 for you.
Yeah, very cool.
So if you're nervous and running and trying to do something, you could do that.
But you're right. There is that little emergency protocol. And I would say to anybody, even if you switch over phones and you keep your old phone, you can always make an emergency 911 call. Always.
That's true. Even if you've turned off the service.
No service. Yep.
So
yes, that's a good point. People don't know that. Keep your old phones.
Yes,
for that.
keep it in a car. Keep it in a garage. I mean, wherever it is that
That's
you
a
work,
great
a
idea.
barn or whatever, keep a phone.
It'd be a great idea in the glove box next to all your other first aid kit and everything else. Just an old phone.
Just got to keep it charged.
Or a burnout phone. I mean, you know, yeah.
As long as it works.
Right.
That's a great idea. The other thing is, I know people that will leave their phone on charge in another room. No, it's got to be in the room where you are, like, you know, when you're going to sleep in your bedroom, because when you get up, that may be the only room you can go to. There may be a fire out there, or there may be a bad guy out there. You don't want to go and he's cut the phone lines to your house, and your cell phone is all you got, so keep it with you.
Well, and you never know. Is a fire arson? And there are people? Or, you know, I mean, yeah, you don't know your situation.
Hadn't thought of that one. Thank you so much.
For that cheerier. Said we were going to come back talking about cheerier stuff. That didn't last long.
All right.
Man, we just took a dark turn there.
Okay, well, keep your phones.
Okay. On a cheerier note, keep your phones. Okay.
I like that idea, though. I've got a couple laying around.
Yeah.
It is a good idea. I've got 2 or 3 of them, you know, old, earlier generations. But, yeah, you can have the cell phone carrier turned off, Verizon, AT&T. You don't have anybody, but that phone will still make a call to 911.
As long as it's powered, yes.
And within range of a tower like any other phone.
Right.
Sure. Right.
But, yep, keep them.
Interesting.
That's a great idea. Great tip, Michelle.
Woohoo.
Okay, and let's see. To continue the whole fire thing, yes, I went in and took, you remember how I was saying you need to stand in the middle of your room and take pictures of all the different walls, basically all the directions and all that?
Yeah, I
did that, but only after the fire.
You were going to do that last Monday. I remember you talking about doing it.
Yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah, I didn't get around to that, but I did get around to it after the fire has destroyed a lot of stuff and damaged a lot of things. So now it's for evidence. But if everything had burned to a crisp, I would have had a lot of trouble coming up with a list of everything that's in the house. And I think that's probably true for everybody.
So we should do as you say, not as you do necessarily.
Yeah, that's right. Do not necessarily, yes. That's
you got great advice. You should follow it.
Yeah, but I don't, but you should, yes.
But, you know, that's true of antiques or anything you have in the home.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, prices, you can't replace things. There's certain things you just cannot replace.
And they're called irreplaceable, those things.
But at least you would have an idea as to what it looked like, what the value would be. They can come up with some kind of price and determine what
Especially
might be coming your way.
If you don't save receipts or you bought stuff used wherever.
Right.
And just maybe one other thing to finish up on is insurance. Don't go cheap. Get good insurance, because when you need it. But also remember, your guns are not covered on your homeowner's insurance.
That's right.
Right. They usually cover up to, a couple grand, which is
a couple of
one
grand
gun
or so.
maybe.
Right.
Yeah, depending on what you have. And you can buy additional insurance for your guns either through your homeowners or the NRA has a pretty good program, I think. They have a good policy. So, and that's not expensive. You don't even have to list them.
I think even by being an NRA member, you're entitled to a certain amount of insurance just by being a member. I believe it comes with a small policy, and then you can up it to whatever you want to pay for the uppage. Uppage, is that a real word? It is now.
It is now, yeah. We agree. It is word.
Up at yours.
Nice.
Bye, Tom.
What?
Nice. I'm stealing that.
That's the name of his new band.
Yeah.
If the other guys don't like it, tough.
You know what he's going to tell them?
How'd you come up with the name? From the audience, unfortunately.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're trying to keep a good attitude about everything, and just each day is another surprise. And look, that was Thursday night, so Friday, Saturday. You know, we're only a third day into this at this point.
Yeah, you got a great attitude. I mean, nobody got hurt, and that's all that matters. And if you can kind of it's like anything else, a major tragedy in your life. If you can see the funny side of it, and it's not going to hurt anything.
Well, I have to admit, if you're going to have a house fire, we got really lucky. Mm-hmm. It only took part of the house, and it didn't take the nasty part of the stuff that was really important to us. And, I am going to miss that toaster, but, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be a big baked potato fan for a while, right?
Well, I can tell you, not that little koozie thing that you cooked. I mean, turns out that's a real fire hazard.
Is it an electrical device, or has it just got superheated?
It is like a pot holder that you put a baked potato in. It's got a pocket. That's all it is. And you put it inside the microwave, and you cook the baked potato that way, and you pull it out, and I don't know what the supposed advantage of it is, but
there have been
several fires have been documented now, including ours at this point.
But after it was used, not while it's being used? That's weird.
No, after it was done. She took the potato out of this thing, went over, opened the door to the pantry, put this on the shelf in the pantry, closed the door, and 5 minutes later, the pantry's on fire.
Right, so you're thinking not that hot. She's handling, hot potato. But this...
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's holding it in her hand. It's just like a pot holder. But evidently, inside that insulation, that padding, I don't know what they're using. It's superheating, and then it starts smoldering, and then poof, it bursts into flames.
Is this a company that's making them, Tom?
No, these are people making them on their own. They're getting the thing off of the internet and off of Pinterest and Etsy, and making it and give them to their friends. And hey, this is great. This was a lady that gave these to all of her friends for Christmas and made them herself.
No.
So
next year she's going to give them out again. She's just going to label them as fire starters.
Gosh, nice.
We call them kindling.
Oh, keep laughing. Keep laughing, Tom.
Keep laughing. That's right. Keep laughing. And, it's first night after our cleanup, I came home and opened up a bottle of my finest bourbon, which is cheap stuff. And that's the finest I can get.
Connoisseur.
I'll drink to that. All righty.
He's a connoisseur, heavy on the sewer.
That's right. We get up the next morning and attack it one more time. So as we finish this up, I'm going to go back over there and start attacking it again. So
there you go. You earned it.
Hey, that's right. One foot in front of the other, right? And then we'll be back here next week and we'll yak about it all over again. I'll give you an update, but I won't be long-winded about it. By that time, it'll be old news.
All right. Be safe.
Take care, Tom.
You guys, too. And watch out for those baked potato holders.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out GunDealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.